folks? Hope things are going well for you. Today's Easter. Happy Easter if you all celebrate Easter. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country, where I react to non-pop country and Dwight Yoakam. You got the rockabilly. I don't know if you could say rockabilly king. I don't know enough about rockabilly to know who would be considered the king of rockabilly. Some people might put Elvis in that category, but and then he would take the title. But Dwight would certainly be in the running. And Renee Mooberry is in the running, certainly. Well, she's already won the crown for Dwight Yoakam's worldwide #1 fan. So I really should get, like on my Kentucky hat, it should say like Renee and Dwight up there. Dwight is from isn't it Pikeville, Kentucky? I'm pretty sure by memory, but he's from Kentucky. And so I wear this hat in his honor. So Renee, thank you for the gift and the request. It's an acoustic rendition of Dwight's Guitars, Cadillacs. So let's do this. I reacted to Guitars, Cadillacs a while ago. Let me see how far. Oh, wait a tick. I'd reacted to this like 8 years ago. Wendell Hardy had requested it on December 4th, 2018. And sometime the video was blocked. A year and a half later, YouTube came back and said, you know what? Blocked. But then, I don't know, like 4 years later, I did it, and Roger Smith had made a gift to the channel for me to do it, and was not blocked. So I don't know, they're still figuring this stuff out. And then a couple years after that, Renee made a gift for me to do it for Dwight and others at the CMAs doing Guitars, Cadillacs. So this is the acoustic rendition. Here we go.
Girl, you taught me how to hurt real bad and cry myself to sleep. You showed me how this town can shatter dreams. Another lesson about a naive fool that came to Babylon and found out that the pie don't taste so sweet. Now it's guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music, lonely, lonely streets that I call home. Yeah, my guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music is the only thing that keeps me hanging on. There ain't no glamour in this tinsel land of lost and wasted lives. And painful scars are all that's left of me. Hey, but thank you, girl, for teaching me brand new ways to be cruel. If I can find my mind now, I guess I'll just leave. And it's guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music, lonely, lonely streets that I call home. Yeah, my guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music is the only thing that keeps me hanging on. Yeah, it's the only thing that keeps me hanging on.
Oh, that might be the first a cappella. I guess that's what you'd say. There's no instrumentation on that. I was expecting him to come in with the guitar, even the title, Guitars, Cadillacs. But, man, I wonder if they just took a track, like the vocal track from a recording, if Dwight did or his people or whoever uploaded this, just took a vocal track, sans the music, or if it was recorded just for this purpose. Man, that was intriguing, Renee. Really intriguing, because the contrast between what we normally see and hear, and I mean see purposely, because normally Dwight's dancing, he's got the clothing, the hat, just everything. He puts a lot of money into his jackets, especially. And of course, you like his jeans, which I won't comment on. I'll leave that entirely up to you. But in this, It's just his voice, not the instrumentation, not the dancing. So what we hear is very different insight into the production of a song. You know, you could take music, and this is the way it's done in studios anyway. Remember, like 8-track tapes, they called them? Well, I think there were just 8 tracks on that tape, and it would jump. You'd click the thingy, remember? Like, you click, and it would jump to another song immediately. You didn't have to fast forward it like with cassette tapes back in the day. This is before CDs. And you go click, and it would just jump to another track immediately. But in the recording process, obviously, you have multiple tracks, the drum track, the lead guitar, the bass, you've got whatever's on it, you've got different tracks, and then the mixer has to put it all together. That's how I understand the process. But the vocal track is certainly, part of the process. And I wonder if this was just isolated and said, let's put this up there. And I love that. And you can really hear, because it is isolated, you could really hear what he's doing. And I'm sure, we saw the special, the documentary on Dwight, where he listens to his music. It was in his Corvette. His souped up Corvette had this mind-blowingly loud sound system. And that's where he listened to songs that he might want to record, or he would listen to his own recordings to see what they were like. You listen to a song like this, like, I wonder if he's listening to it to hear, he's like, oh, at the end of that line, I need to go like this, or that word I need to say differently, or that was a little too underpronounced or overdone, or what have you. And of course, I'm just infinitely curious about the way things work. I was talking with my older sister last night. We had dinner together, and then we watched Illinois and Yukon. I wanted Illinois because my buddy's an Illinois fan, but in the March Madness tournament, so we had dinner, we watched that. But we were talking about staying, sort of like the keys to having a healthier and better life. Because I went up there, I gave her an abs workout, and it's kind of an advanced abdominal workout. She's in shape, but we're older. We're we're in our mid-60s, and but we're still in very good shape. We're still very active, and we were talking about just life in general and different parts of it. And I said, curiosity, if you stay curious about things, you're going to stay younger. You're going to stay relevant. You're going to be able to connect with younger folks. You're going to have a different mindset than if you just sort of like stop at a certain point learning about things, being curious about things. Could be curious about technology or anything. And this is the type of thing that I love to experience, Renee, with Dwight's just under 2-minute vocal track of a very, very well-known song, if you know country, and even just you get to hear, you're not distracted by music. And I love the instrumentation in songs. Obviously, it's the big part of why we listen to them. But when you get a song where you just hear how he's singing it, then you can hear, all right, specifically the words, only the words. Okay. Guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music. That takes you somewhere. But she showed him a new way to be cruel. Not that he was cruel. She showed him a new way of how a human being could be cruel, because she was cruel to him. He wasn't being cruel to her. That wasn't the insinuation or implication in the song. But what do I even rate my experience on this one? This was gosh. I mean, I love the ballsiness of it. And I love the ballsiness of the request even, Renee, because this is very different. Very, very different type of request. And so you're probably wondering, how's Don going to like this? I love this kind of stuff for the curiosity factor. Like, now it makes me want to hear some other only vocal tracks too, just to see what I could divine from them and what I learned. And I'm really partial to the instrumentation and such, but I love the learning part of something like this. All right, I'm going to rate this one. I've got to, and it was scintillating to me. The number that popped into my head immediately was a 9.0. Fascinating. Fascinating, Renee. That's what I've got for you. Bravo! Brava! All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. You can thank Renoozles for that. Have a great day. I'll see you in another video. Keep rocking the country and hillbilly music.
Another lesson about a naive fool that came to Babylon and found out that the pie don't taste so sweet.